computer. Okay, so good afternoon, class, and welcome to your updates in financial reporting and accounting. Today we'll discuss cash and accrual. I hope you can see my PowerPoint slide. Can you confirm, please? Ayun. Sige, salamat, Jess. Sige, cash and accrual tayo. So, cash and accrual, well, basically, class, di ba? The requirement of the standards. Requirement of the standard is for us to come up with a financial statement based on the accrual basis. Pero kasi, as you know, especially in practice, marami talaga mga establishments, entities that would do accrual basis. So in order for us to reconcile the difference, we have to convert the cash basis into accrual basis. In so doing, we are complying sa requirements ng accounting standards. No? So before we go through the different discussion problems, well, same approach tayo palagi. We'll introduce some concepts, yung theoretical parts, and then later on, para at least mas solidify yung understanding natin, we'll proceed with different discussion problems. No? So let's look at sales first. No? So sabi natin, sales in cash basis, this includes your cash sales, collection of accounts receivable, and receipt of advances from customers. Now, under the accrual basis, it only includes cash sales and credit sales. No? So, pansinin niyo, class, in cash basis, ito talaga, pag naka-receive ka ng cash, that's the only time you record it as sales. No? Okay, so we go now to purchases. So purchases under the cash basis, this includes your cash purchases, payment of trade accounts payable, payment of trade notes payable, and payment in advance to suppliers. No? So imagine, class, under cash basis, all of these transactions are included, in looking into the purchases. No? Imagine pati yung advances to suppliers. No? So advances to suppliers are also included under the cash basis. No? Now, when we look into the accrual basis, it only includes cash purchases and purchases on account. No? So later on, we'll introduce the accounts, in order for us to solve different types of problem on cash and accrual basis. Kasi parang it's just like a review of your basic accounting. No? Pero in order for us to lessen, sabi ko, class, lessen the analysis, kasi di ba, when we analyze things, doon talaga kumakain ng oras. And again, ang sabi natin, this is, di ba sabi natin, this is our training ground in order for us to be prepared for the CPA board exam. And again, under the CPA, when you take the CPA board exam, it's under a lot of pressure, no? Especially wait pa kita. Mute na lang muna kita. Sorry. Tuloy na ako. Naka-record naman na tayo. Tama ba? Naka-record na ba? Okay, so naka-record naman na. Ayan. So yun nga, we'll introduce the account later to minimize or lessen the analysis, kasi nga, di ba, sabi natin, we are training you to be prepared sa CPA board exam. And as you know, CPA board exam is time pressured. No? So as much as possible, bawasan natin yung time to analyze para at least makamove ka, matapos mo lahat ng mga items in the CPA board exam. No? Okay, so income other than sales under the cash basis, it includes only those collected during the period. No? So para kasing basic logic, pag cash basis, everything that is collected. So lahat ng pumasok na cash, lahat ng lumabas na cash, yun lang yung kailangan i-account. Under the accrual basis includes those items that are incurred regardless of when paid. No? So that's the uh, basics naman ng accrual method natin. No? So of course, we have the accrued income. Ito na yung sinasabi kong T-account. No? But later on, we'll look more into this, no? in detail pa. Of course, we have the prepaid expense and the accrued expense. No? So prepaid expense, this is an asset, and the accrued expense is a liability. Kaya nga, when we combine the two, pansinin lang class that the beginning balance of prepaid is in the debit side. And the ending balance naman, ito kasi yung pinaka-squeeze, no? That's why we are just putting it here. No? And then the beginning balance of payable, ito makita mo na sa credit side. No? So we have to combine these two kasi para at least we would know, no, yung payments and the expense side. Okay, so how about depreciation? So sabi natin, under the cash basis, this is typically provided except when the cost of equipment was treated as expense. No? So pag ganun, mas marami tayong problema, we have also to just for the equipment balance, but that's another story, no? So that's under your property, plant, and equipment accounting. Okay, accrual basis, again, this is typically provided. Now, going to the bad debts, sabi natin under cash basis, no bad debt expense is recognized. Why? Cash basis doesn't recognize receivable, although some problem may give an indication that the accounts written off were charged to bad debt expense. Now, of course, logical din yan dahil nga under cash basis, we do not recognize naman receivable kasi. No? So, it's really cash in and cash out. No? And accrual basis, this is your doubtful accounts. Okay, so to illustrate all those topics, let's proceed with the different discussion problems. No? So please stay with me. I prepared 8 discussion problems for this topic. So please expect it would be lengthy. Pero again, no, sabi natin, we'll introduce naman kasi different ways to attacking problems on cash and accrual basis. No? So probably this would be different from what you have learned previously, no, in basic accounting. So pero kung same, I think it's okay. No? So we just have to reinforce, no, what you have learned. Okay, so let me read the requirements first. So what amount should be reported as sales revenue for the current year under the cash basis? So problem number 1, cash basis ang pinapahanap and sales revenue. An entity reported sales revenue of 4,500,000 in the income statement for the current year. So we have the balances. No? So January 1, so beginning balance, and December 31, the ending balance. We have accounts receivable, 1 million and 1,500,000 respectively. Allowance for doubtful accounts, 50,000 and 200,000. Advances from customers, 200,000 and 400,000. The entity wrote off uncollectible account totaling 100,000 during the current year. Under the cash basis, what amount should be reported as sales revenue for the current year? Also, ito plus when you're analyzing problems like this, don't forget or be very careful dun sa mga dates na. Kasi, like for example, January 1 and December 31. When you mix this, magkakaroon tayo ng problem dun sa T-account natin. So January 1, of course, this is your beginning balance. December 31 is your ending balance. I keep telling you this kasi dito madalas nagkakaroon ng error. Why? Pansinin natin yung solution natin sa problem number 1. Okay, so ito kasi, I also prepared here some cheat sheet, pero ang gagawin natin is we'll apply this straight to our discussion problems na lang. No? So for example, itong problem number 1, so we are combining the balances for accounts receivable and advances. No? So, but this time, ang hinahanap kasi sa atin class is the sales revenue. Sales revenue under cash basis. And remember, no, balikan ko lang tong cheat sheet natin. Ang sales revenue under the accounts receivable or under the cash basis would only be the collections. No? So ito yung hinahanap natin dyan. So unahin natin i-plot yung mga beginning and ending balances. No? So this is AR. And remember, we have AR beginning balance of 1 million. So that's given. And then we have ending balance of AR. That's 1.5 million. So pinaplot ko pa lang muna class yung beginning and ending balances natin. Okay, so an entity reported sales revenue of 4.5 million. So again, that's the, sorry, so that's 1 million, that's 4.5 million. And then also given yung amount written off for 100,000. Ito kasi class, we're doing the account under the assumption that you already know the entries, no? Kasi di ba, pag nag-record tayo ng sales, it's debit AR, credit sales. No? So since we're debiting the AR, so in the T account, it will be also flagged here, no, as a debit. And there's the accounts written off, no? So for 100,000. Now, for the ending balances of your advances from customer, so sabi natin advances from customer, this is a liability account. No? So therefore, the beginning balance will be flagged in the credit side. No? So that's 200,000. And then the ending balance would be 400,000, no? Debit. So, kunin ngayon natin yung total. That's 5.9 million. Pansinin mo class, alisin ko muna itong 4.1. So that's 5.9 million. Ang ginagawa natin dito is we're squeezing the number. No? So what I'm going to do is just get this less the total here. That's 4.1 million. This now represents the collection. But and then remember, yung collection natin dyan, under the cash basis, this is your sales revenue. Sige, ulitin ko to ha. So sabi natin, yung, di ba, pag cash basis, kasi di ba, we are just looking into the flow of cash, no? So ang nire-record natin na sales revenue would all be the collections, no? So ito yung from AR, no? Kasi we also have sales, cash on sales, you know? Now here, this would be representing your collections from your AR, and this will be recorded as sales revenue under the cash basis. So the answer to to problem number 1 would be letter A, 4.1 million. Pansinin ulit class na, ang ginawa natin is by way of the account, we combined accounts receivable and advances from customers. We flag in first the balances nung dalawang account, no? Either ilipat ko to dito para sa presentation. Balances of these two accounts, and then all other items that will impact, no, the transactions on these two accounts. No? So pansinin, we have sales, that's 4.5 million. The amount written off of 100,000. And then we have also the collections. No? Ito yung pinaka-squeeze na natin. That's 4.1 million. Okay, so that's problem number 1. Let's go now to problem number 2. Under cash basis, what amount of sales revenue should be reported for the current year? Again, It's the same. No? During the current year, an entity reported gross cash sales of 3 million with related returns and allowances of 100,000. And credit sales, gross credit sales of 500,000 with related discounts of 400,000. On January 1, customers owed the entity 1 million, and on December 31, customers owed the entity 2 million. O, so yan, binigay na sa atin class yung beginning and ending balances ng accounts receivable natin. The entity used direct write-off method for bad debts. No bad debts were recorded in the current year. So under the cash basis, what amount of sales revenue should be reported for the current year? So that's a problem number 2. So pansinin, sa problem number 2 class, meron kasing given ang gross sales. Ang hinahanap sa atin is yung sales revenue. No? So we have gross sales, that's 3 million. So that's given. Less your sales returns and allowances. No? So computerin ko lang to. Bigay ko siya sales, returns, and allowances. So that's 100,000. Again, that's given naman. So yan, nakita natin. Reported gross sales of 3 million with related returns and allowances of 100,000. Ang hinahanap sa atin is cash basis. No? So we just have to plug these two in. No? Okay, so okay. Now that we have these two, kailangan natin yung collections. Collections from AR. No? So, gawin natin ngayon ng T-account yung AR natin. So, we have accounts receivable. Beginning balance, that's 1 million. We have also the ending balance no, of 2 million. So, pansinin class ha, pinaplug lang muna natin yung balances. No? Next step is to plot yung mga transactions affecting our accounts receivable. Una, we have gross credit sales of 5 million pesos. O ito, take note class, if the given is gross sales, so kailangan natin also to take up yung related sales returns and allowances. No? So sales discount, returns, and allowances. No? So in this case, we have to put on the other side the 400,000 representing sales discount. No? So binuo ko lang to pero in fact, this is just sales discount no? For this problem. No? So pero i-keep ko na lang para at least we're looking into one template lang. No? And of course, the write-off, no? Amount written off, but in this case, we don't have any. No? So kunin lang natin muna yung sum. So we have 6 million. Alisin ko ito muna ng 3.6. No? So we have 6 million there. So squeeze in lang muna natin ulit yung collection. Squeeze ko to. So that would be 6 million less 2 million and less 400,000. Pansinin, we have 3.6 collection here. So we have to include that as part of our cash sales. So that's 3.6. No? So kompleto na yung items na kailangan natin. So just get the sum. So that will be 6.5 million or letter A. Ano ang kailangan nating i-analyze dito? Class na, ulitin ko to. We have to take note that when you plug in here gross sales, don't forget to also plot the related sales returns and allowances. O class ha, binabagala ko yung salita ko para at least mas ma-absorb yung part na to. Why? Kasi kung halimbawa ang given is net sales and you flag it here, kung net sales na inilagay mo, pwede mo nang ignore yung related sales returns, allowances, and discount. No? So wag ka magkakamali dyan kasi sometimes dun yung lumalabas ng mga tricky items. No? So that's problem number 2. So let's have problem number 3. So problem number 3, we are looking into the gross sales for 2021 under accrual basis, gross purchases under accrual basis, and then cost of goods sold for 2021 under the accrual basis. An entity provided the following data. So we have inventory, cost of goods sold, accounts receivable, and accounts payable, ending and beginning balances. No? So December 31, 2020, this represents your beginning balances. No? And then December 31, 2021 these are your ending balances. Basahin pa natin, during 2021, cash receipts from customers were 8 million pesos after sales discount of 500,000. Accounts written off were 100,000 and sales returns with credit memo were 250,000. Cash refunds to customer for returned goods, 50,000 was debited to accounts receivable. So yan. Later on, analyze natin ano ba nangyari dyan. Cash payment to creditors amounted to 5 million after purchase discount of 200,000 while purchase returns amounted to 400,000. So let's have problem number 3. Ito class, in problem number 3, isa-isay na lang natin para at least mas clear yung approach. No? So we have accounts receivable. Since in requirement number 1, ang pinapahanap sa atin is gross sales under accrual basis. Eh, di ba, dun sa first 2 problems natin earlier, na-establish na natin no, that under cash basis, we're looking into the collections. No? So with that, i-plot muna natin. No? So beginning balances, we have 1.2 million. That's given. Ending balance of 1,350,000. Okay. So next we have the credit sales. Credit sales natin is 9 million. That's gross, ha? Gross credit sales of 9 million. Ay, sorry. Naka-squeeze na pala ako dito kaya hindi siya makita. So, dito na muna ako. Plug ko lang muna. Alisin ko muna to, ha? Plug ko lang muna lahat ng mga data. So, we have collections of 8 million. And cash receipts from customers were 8 million. Sales discount of 500,000 also given. And then amount written off of 100,000. Then we have sales returns of 250,000. So yan. So lahat ng items na yan given, get the sum, that's 10,200,000. So squeeze in natin ngayon yung credit sales. No? So that would be 10,200,000 less this 1,200,000. But pansinin, this is your gross sales. No? Pansinin class na there's also an adjustment of 50,000. Ang sabi kasi dito, cash refund to customer for returned goods, 50,000 was debited to accounts receivable. And remember, no, when we're debiting accounts receivable, it's as if we are increasing the accounts receivable. No? So as if meron ka additional sales. No? So that's incorrect. No? So we have to adjust for that. No? So therefore, we have to adjust the credit sales. No? So we have 900,000 there, less the adjustment of 50,000. Parang yung co-correct natin. No? So initially, it was debited to accounts receivable. Sabihin natin credit cash, no? Dahil nga may returns. No? But that's incorrect. No? So we have to adjust our credit sales. No? So that's 900 million. Sorry, that's 9 million less the 50,000 returns. No? So that would be 8,950,000. Ang requirement pala sa atin class is under the accrual basis. No? So that's 8,950,000 or letter A. Okay, so let's go to requirement number 2. Sa requirement number 2, pinapahanap sa atin is gross purchases for 2021 under the accrual basis. Of course, in order for us to get that, kailangan natin tingnan yung accounts payable natin. No? So accounts payable natin, let's have the, baba ko lang to. Let's plug all the data. No? So we have accounts payable, 1,500,000 beginning balance. 1,500,000. Dito, this is beginning. This is balancing end. 1,850,000. Right? Okay, tingnan ko lang muna yung balances. Okay. Next, we have purchase discount. Purchase discount of 200,000. That's given. We also have payments. No? Cash payment to creditors amounted to 5 million. So that's 5 million. And then purchase returns of 400,000. So everything is given. No? So we just get the sum. So that's 7,450,000. So yan din yung balance sa kabila. No? So we have 1,500,000 there. So squeeze in natin ngayon yung gross purchases. No? So that's 7,450,000 less 1,500,000. Ayun. No? So that's 5,950,000. So that's our gross purchases. No? So tandaan class, if ang kailangan naman is net purchases, so all we have to do is get the gross purchase and then deduct yung purchase discount and purchase returns. At saka po, purchase discount and purchase returns. No? So be careful with that kasi ang hinahanap sa atin dito is gross purchase lang naman. No? So that would be 5,950,000. Next, we have cost of goods sold. No? And of course, no, when we're looking into the cost of goods sold, kailangan natin is yung inventory part. No? So inventory, we have 1,200,000 beginning, 1,600,000 ending. So okay pa tayo dyan. Then we have the gross purchases. No? So nakumpita natin yung kanina, we have 5,950,000. And remember, kanina pinag-uusapan natin sales. No? So gross sales. No? But this time, on purchases, if we plot in gross purchases here, so kailangan kunin din natin yung purchase discount and purchase returns. No? So ayan, plug din natin yan. Okay, so that would be 7,150,000. Squeeze in natin ngayon yung cost of sales. No? So that would be 7,150,000 less 1.6 million ending balance, less the purchase discount of 200,000 and the purchase return of 400,000. So we have 4,950,000 or letter B. Okay, so again we are working under the assumption na alam mo na lahat ng mga entries impacting your inventory. No? So when you purchase, diba? So it's debit inventory, credit purchases, credit accounts payable. Okay, so that's problem number 3. Siguro let's have another problem before we pause for a short break. So let's have problem number 4. Problem number 4, under the accrual basis, what amount should be reported as net income for the current year? An entity maintains accounting records on the cash basis but restates the financial statements to the accrual basis. Ito naman yung dapat na ginagawa so that we can comply with the accounting standards. No? The entity had 6 million in cash basis net income for the current year. The entity reported accounts receivable of 2 million on January 1 and 4 million for December 31. Accounts payable of 3 million on January 1 and 1.5 million on December 31. Under the accrual basis, what amount should be reported as net income for the current year? So that's a problem number 4. Ito class, pansinin, taas ko lang to dito. Pansinin na ang given sa atin is the net income under the cash basis. So all we have to do is account for the increase and decrease in AR and AP. So in this case, punta muna natin yung AR. Yung AR natin, we have 2 million beginning and 4 million ending. So, ang increase in AR natin is 2 million. So, from 2 million na beginning, nag-increase siya ng 2 million para magkaroon ka ng ending balance of 4 million. No? So, that's 2 million increase. Okay? Now, of course, in order for us to reconcile, no, or to put the net income cash basis to accrual basis, we have to add that increase in the accounts receivable. Kasi nga, di ba, yung increase in AR, that's a result of sales transactions this year, but would only be collected next year. No? So therefore, not part of the net income under cash basis. So yun lang, para at least we look into the logic to uh, analyze, no, each of these accounts. No? So let's go to the accounts payable naman. So in our accounts payable, we have 3 million beginning and then 1.5 million ending. No? So in this case, of course, no, when we settle, that's already included as part of your uh, cash basis net income. No? So decrease in AP, we have to add this back in order for us to get the net income under the accrual basis. No? So with that, we have 6 million plus 2 million increase in AR plus the decrease in AP. So that would be 9,500,000. This would be the net income under the accrual basis. No? So that's letter D. Okay, so class, let's pause for 10-minute break and then we'll come back and we'll have problems 5, 6, 7, and 8. No? So for problems lang naman, so please stay with me. So let's meet again in 10 minutes. Okay, class. So we'll proceed with the rest of the discussion problems. So let's have problem number 5. So problem number 5, what amount of interest expense should be reported for the current year? So an entity borrowed money under various loan agreement involving notes requiring interest payments at maturity. During the current year, the entity paid interest totaling 6 million pesos. The statement of financial position included the following. So we have prepaid interest and interest payable beginning and ending balances. Now, so that's a problem number 5. Okay, so problem number 5, we have prepaid interest and interest payable. No? So again, we'll combine these two. So plot muna lang muna natin yung mga beginning and ending balances natin. No? So prepaid interest, this is an asset account. No? So beginning balance of 500,000, that's given. And then ending balance of 1,500,000. Plus yung BE, balancing end, para lang in-abbreviate ko lang. No? And then we have interest payable. Interest payable being liability account. So we have a beginning balance of 2 million. And then of course, yung ending balance would be 2,500,000. Okay. So what are the transactions affecting this accounts? No? So we have payment given naman, that's 6 million. So that will give us 9 million in total. So 9 million, squeeze in ngayon natin yung expense side. So that would be 9 million less 1,500,000 less 2 million. So that's 5,500,000. So the answer is letter A. So pansinin class, na, what we did in this problem is, una, we plot in all the beginning and ending balances. No? So huwag kang magkakamali kasi remember that prepaid interest, this is an asset account. So therefore, the beginning balance is flagged in as a debit, in the debit side. And then of course, interest payable being a liability, the beginning balance was plotted as a credit. No? So yun lang, siguro just revisit yung account classification. Saka syempre, yung normal side. But again, we work under the assumption that you already know these concepts, kasi that's basic accounting. No? So that's problem number 5. Let's have problem number 6. So problem number 6, ito naman, during the current year, the entity received royalty remittance of 2 million. What amount should be reported as royalty income for the current year? An entity assigns some of its patents to other entities under a variety of licensing agreements. The following data are gathered for the current year. No? So we have unearned royalties and royalties receivable, beginning and ending balances. So parang same approach, to problem number 5. No? But this time, we're looking into royalties and unearned royalties. No? Of course, unahin natin royalties. Sabi natin, this is an asset account, beginning balance of 900,000. That's given. And then 850,000 yung balancing end. Unearned royalties, we have beginning balance of 600,000 credit. This is liability. And then 400,000 balancing end. So what are the transactions affecting these accounts? No? So we have collections also given. We have 2 million pesos. So get the sum. So that's 3,450,000. And then squeeze natin yung royalty income. No? So that's 3,450,000 less 900,000 less 400,000. So that would be 2,150,000 or letter B. Okay. So pansinin nyo class, ang ginagawa nating approach is instead of, sabi kasi diba natin, by introducing these T accounts, we are minimizing or we are minimizing the amount of time that we spend in analyzing. No? Kasi nga sabi natin, this is part of our preparation. Pero kung halimbawa i-analyze naman natin to account per account, you'll get the same answer. No? So the total royalty income would be 2,150,000 or letter B. So that's problem number 6. Okay, so problem number 7. What is the accrual basis net income? No? So this is similar to the previous problem, no? Where we look into the increase and decrease in different accounts. No? An entity maintains its book on a cash basis. During the current year, the entity collected 50 million pesos from customers and paid 42 million in expenses. No? So dito pa lang makukuha na natin yung net income under the cash basis. No? So we have 50 million revenue less 42 million in expenses. No? So also given are your accounts receivable, prepaid expenses, advances from customers, accrued expenses, accounts payable, and depreciation. No? Beginning and ending balances. No? So let's have problem number 7. So in problem number 7, ayun na nga. So we have 8 million. So that's 50 million less 42 million. We have the net income under the cash basis. And then we look into the different accounts, no, affecting the net income. So basically, from the cash basis going to the net income under the accrual basis. Una, we have decrease in AR. No? So from 2 million, it decreased by 300,000 to 1,700,000. So therefore, we have collected more this year. No? So of course, in order to reconcile the net income under the cash basis and convert it to accrual basis, so that decrease in AR would need to be deducted, no, from your net income cash basis. Next, we have prepaid expense. So prepaid expense, it increased by 100,000. So that's additional 100,000. Increase in advances from customer. So that's 900,000 from 500,000. So there's a decrease, no? Increase in advances from customer. This is a liability account. No? So we have minus 400,000 there. Next, on the accrued expenses. No? Accrued expenses from 1 million naging 800,000. So we have decrease in the accrued expense. No? So we have to add this back. That's 200,000. Followed by the accounts payable. No? So accounts payable beginning natin is 1.4 million, and then we had 2,500,000 in December 31. So nag-increase yung accounts payable natin. No? So we have to deduct that. No? So 1,100,000, we have to reduce, no, the net income under cash basis. And finally, we have the depreciation. No? So we have 500,000. As you know, we have to deduct that, no, as part of the calculation. No? So now that we have analyzed each item, so just get the sum, we can now calculate 6 million. No? 6 million, this is the net income under the accrual basis. Actually, class, there's another way to look into this. No? Parang kung gagawa tayo ng cheat sheet, pansinin, if it's a decrease in the asset, decrease in asset, so we have to deduct. So kung bawa increase in asset naman, so we have to add. Now, kung halimbawa ang pinag-uusapan is liability, replace all. Pag decrease in liability, we have to add it. And then pag increase in liability, we have to deduct it. Now, what I will suggest you to do is try to apply this cheat sheet, no, in other problems. No? So look for same problem or kaya I'll be giving you assignments or wag sa quiz, no? So quiz kasi it's a different story, no? So in assignment, try to apply this cheat sheet, no? So you should get the same answer. Okay? So that's problem number 7. Okay, sige, ito. Problem number 8, this will be our last problem. What amount should be reported for prepaid insurance on March 31, 2021 and insurance expense for the 3 months ended March 31, 2021? An entity paid 72,000 to renew the only insurance policy for 3 years on March 1, 2021. So I told ulit class na this is prepaid expense, 72,000 representing 3 years. Take note of that. This is for 3 years. No? On March 1, 2021. The effective date of the policy. On March 31, 2021, the unadjusted trial balance showed the balance of 3,000 for prepaid insurance and 72,000 for insurance expense. So parang it goes without saying that they have recorded it all as insurance expense. No? But remember, we are preparing the financial statements under the accrual method. No? So therefore, we only put to expense yung portion, no, that is already consumed, no. So in this case, pansinin, March 1 daw yung effective date, we paid 72,000. Then kung March 31 natin pine-prepare yung financial statement natin, so only 1 month has lapsed, no. Okay, so what amount should be reported for prepaid insurance and insurance expense, no? So let's have problem number 8. So in problem number 8, we have beginning balance of 3,000. Given yan class, we have 3,000 there. And then ending balance, yan yung co-compute natin. No? So we have payment of 72,000. And then we'll also complete for the expense. No? So unahin muna natin tong ending balance natin. So remember, this 72,000 prepaid, 72,000 paid, no, for the insurance premium represents 3 years. No? So para makuha natin yung monthly, so that's 72,000 divided by 36 months. No? So 36 months kasi di ba 3 years, 3 years multiplied by 12 months, so that would be 36 months. Ilang buwan yung nag-lapse? The effective date of insurance was March 1, 2021. So, pinagpe-prepare tayo ng financial statement March 31, 2021. So, therefore, may nag-lapse na 1 month. No? So, ang shortcut kasi, 72,000 over 36 multiplied by 35 to establish yung remaining balance ng prepaid insurance. No? Another way to do that is, syempre, kunin mo lang yung monthly. That's 2,000, no? So meron kang balance na 72,000 less 2,000 yung 1 month. Okay, you'll get the same din naman. This is for 1 month. No? So that's 70,000. Now 70,000, this is your ending balance. Now that we have established the beginning and ending balances, we can now squeeze in, no, yung expense. No? So that's 75,000 less 70,000. We have expense of 5,000. Ngayon, ang tinatanong kasi sa atin, how much would be the prepaid insurance on March 31? So that's 70,000. And how much would be the insurance expense? No? So that would be 5,000 pesos. Okay? So that's letter B. Okay? So that's problem number 8. So siguro ang tip ko lang dito class in cash accrual, cash and accrual basis, you have to know the normal side of the account, no. So if you're still if you think, no, that you're not confident enough, no, to know, parang kasi you should know this by heart, no, at this stage, no. But if you're still not confident about this, you have to just go to, siguro what I suggest you to do, just go to look for a trial balance, no. So makikita mo kasi sa trial balance lahat lang ng mga balances ng asset and liabilities mo. So you just be familiar, no, with the normal side. Okay. You can I mean, back in the basic accounting, no, you have prepared the number of trial balance there. No? So just go back to those lessons. It won't hurt, no, even when you're in senior years. No, if that's how you really learn. No? So just go back to those exercises. No? So actually, that's problem 8. Yeah, that ends our discussion for today in cash and accrual basis. Again, if you have any questions, you can send me an email directly to my personal mail. That's markgibson.manawis@yahoo.com.ph, or you can course it through your class BDEL. Meron pa pala akong utang, no? You have requested for discussion on the diluted earnings per share. No? So I should be able to do that this week, if not late next week, no, just after my exam. So that would be all for today, class. Thank you for attending this class, and I'll just share the recording, no, in Big Sky, at least for the benefit of those who were not able to attend this session. So maraming salamat. Stay safe and stay healthy. I'll see you again next week for another session in review class. So thank you. Ingat kayo.
Thank you, sir.
Sige. So, salamat. Ingat kayo. Bye.